The original Air 75 by NuPhy was a absolute beast. It proved that you could have low profile mechanical keyboards that not only looked aesthetically pleasing but could also perform quite well. Before that, a lot of low profile keyboards just seemed as basically chiclet keyboards, and that's all they were. Of course, it's obligatory upon NuPhy to improve such a good product and make it even better. Fast forward and we have the version 2 of the Air 75. Now NuPhy claims they've made dramatic improvements in areas that otherwise fell short with the original keyboard, and today we're going to take a detailed look to see if the Air 75 V2 is the perfect low profile mechanical keyboard for your needs, whether you're upgrading from the original or looking for an entirely new low profile keyboard altogether. So let's get into it. From a packaging perspective, NuPhy likes to keep things nice and sleek. As such, the Air 75 comes in a very slim box. Now of course, remove all that protective packaging and surprise surprise, this is not the actual cardboard. Remove the paper cover slip, and here it is, the actual cardboard for the NuPhy Air 75 V2, and you have a literal blueprint of the keyboard. Open up the box, and inside, first and foremost, you will find the keyboard itself. Remove all that protective packaging, and here it is, the Air 75 V2 in that stunning new black color. But more on that in a quick minute. Now past that, you do have a instruction manual and quick start guide. At the backside, you have the same kinky stickers we had last time. Anyway, past that, you do have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and it is braided. Additionally, you have a hot swapping tool since this is a hot swappable keyboard. Now you have two boxes. The first box has a bunch of additional switches for you to try out, as well as the USB-A receiver. And then past that, the second box has a bunch of spare keycaps. So version 2 retains pretty much the same form factor as the original Air 75. However, one major change right off the bat is that full black color we have going on over here, and this is exactly what NuPhy needed. The other two colors are great, but we needed a black toned color. On top of that, you also notice the keycaps are matching that as well, so you have black keycaps towards the interior, while a few of the keycaps on the exterior side are gray tone, giving that nice monochrome look, though you still have those high contrast keys around the escape, spacebar, and enter keys, which I personally love. Now on the bottom side of the keyboard, you still do have a plastic surface finish. However, this year it's translucent, and you can kind of see the circuitry inside the keyboard, and it's worth noting the backlight can actually shine through it, which is a pretty cool effect. You also have the battery placement in the same center area, though it's a larger battery, and we'll talk more about that later on. And my personal favorite part is that they got rid of those annoying magnetic height raisers and replaced them with traditional built-in height raisers that have a 2-tier system setting. So it's quite nice to have that, and you won't be losing the magnetic razors anymore. On the rear side, you have a USB-C charging port, which also doubles as the wired connectivity mode. Then on the other side, you have two switches, just like last time. You have a Windows and Mac toggle, and then you also have a toggle to switch between powered, wired, and wireless mode. NuPhy has implemented the same double-shot PBT keypad process they have on the Air 96, which means no country will be invading your keyboard for the sheer amount of oil or moisture that would otherwise stack upon those keycaps. Good news. Now, it's also worth noting you do have a RGB enabled backlit keyboard here, but just like the original generation, the problem remains where it's very poorly lit, it's not particularly bright, and it's pretty much useless from a practical point of view. Now, it is worth noting you do have a number of preset modes, but they're not nearly as exuberant as some other RGB enabled keyboards. This keyboard is fully hot swappable, meaning you can replace every single individual keycap. But you can take it a step further by replacing these switches as well. And you also have the option to choose between the in-house floral switches NuPhy provides, or go with the classic Gateron 2.0 low profile switches. As long as you have a 2-pin connection, you can use any switch of your choice. Plenty of stock options from the get-go. NuPhy has made great improvements to the typing experience, so you still have the same heavy thockiness you did with the original Air 75, which of course is a signature typing experience to NuPhy. However, it's way more contained, there's less recoil, and this is engineered through having better shock absorption, a re-engineered mounting system, which all in all just adds for a more fluid and natural typing experience versus the more harsher experience you had on the original Air 75. Now, I have the Cowberry linear switches here, which have a relatively short key travel and are more on the linear side, though I'd say they're definitely more liberal with how tactile they are. And of course, there are other options if you prefer more tactile or equally more linear switches as well. NuPhy has managed to fit a 4000 milliamp hour battery in this petite body, which is 1500 more than the original V1. Now, as a result, you get up to 220 hours of non-stop usage on a single charge if you have backlighting off, versus the average of about 160 hours with V1. Also, NuPhy has officially joined the 1000 Hz polling rate thanks to the improved receiver with the Air75 V2, which means this is now a great keyboard for competitive gaming or esports alike. In addition to the wireless connectivity, you still have 3 distinct Bluetooth profiles you can save and set with this keyboard. It's also worth noting you do have the same dual LED lights on either corner of the aluminum frame, indicating the cap lock status as well as the battery status, and they also allow you to set various RGB effects. Air75 V2 now starts at $120 which is a $10 increase from the original V1, but I think the price is more than justified. You are getting significantly better battery life, you have a re-engineered board here for better shock absorption, the switches have been redefined, you also have Gateron support, and then of course faster wireless connectivity and a bunch of other changes. This really is an exceptional keyboard that's now even better. The only thing that could improve, like I said, is the backlighting system. But if that's not a concern to you, I really don't have many negative things to say about this keyboard, if any at all. Let me know what you think of the Air75 V2, and it's also worth noting you now have full support for Windows, macOS, and Linux, where before you had partial support for the latter two. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in learning more about this keyboard, I will leave links in the video description below. Catch you in the next one.